So today I'm off to an experience and it's with, let me just get my breath, Toby Jepson. Back in 1989, I went to this concert here. Can you call it a concert? A gig. And it was November the 17th at Coventry Poly. If you know what happened at that concert, you know what happened at that concert. But anyway, 34 and a half years later, I can't believe it's 34 and a half years later, I am off to see him. The amount of stuff I have found in my cupboard, I'm just going to go through. I'm taking the whole lot. I'm going to see what he's going to sign for me. A couple of things I already signed. So his latest thing that he signed was, I had the poster and the CD of Little Rarities. I did ask for him to sign the poster, but it came unsigned and they only signed the CD. But anyway, he can sign them for me. I also want him to sign his book as well. And the Sticks and Stones My Life in Words book came with a CD as well. Unfortunately, don't have a CD player, and even though I've got loads of PCs around the house, not one of them has a DVD drive. Then, like I say, if you know, you know. I got this back in, I think it arrived November 2021. It's the Sex in Cars lyric. To Julie, thanks for the memory. A long time ago and a fantastic gig. That's all I'm saying. I might tell you what happened later on in the video, but that's just between me and Toby. Then I have, look at this. I didn't even realise I'd got this. Well, I kind of knew, but I've slept since in the last 34 and a half years. Little Angels Don't Pray For Me, my favourite song of theirs, and it's got the badge, what do you call it, the campus badgy thing. I have the Boneyard single, I have She's a Little Angel, which I've always sung to my youngest daughter ever since she was born, and Little Angel's Radical Your Lover, absolutely fantastic song. Then this is where it gets interesting. So we've got 90 in the Shade and it's a poster edition. I'm not going to get this out, but you'll see why, because I've got lots of other things I could, she says starts to get it out, but anyway, you get the idea. Then this was on my wall for what seemed like years. I don't know if you're just going to pull this down. So I couldn't have it on my wall with the topless people, so I got little red stickers to cover them up. But anyway, where's Toby's? It's in the middle if I remember. Yeah, there's Toby. There's Toby. Then I have a limited edition 4-track live EP poster bag of Don't Pray For Me. As you can see, I protected everything back in the day. Then this blew my mind. I didn't even know I'd got it. And I know I've said that about everything else, but I didn't know I'd got it. It is pre-release, not for resale. And it looks like it's a double A side. So we've got, maybe not, we've got Kicking Up Dust live on it, and we've got Big Bad World Nashville version. But we have, it is actually Kicking Up Dust. But it's a single. How big? Anyway, it gets better. We have Little Angels Big Bad EP. We have limited edition 12-inch picture disc number 4216. And we're going down to the Boneyard. Again, all protected. Then I have 90 in the Shade. Nothing special about that, but Little Angels. This has got to be my favourite. It's 90 in the Shade, Big Bad World, England Rocks on the back. but that shaped picture disc, God, amazing. Radical You Lover, probably 12-inch, but it's got it's a strictly adult mix, and it was written by Little Angels and Dan Reed. Okay, Get Radical EP, limited edition number 7091. I just love this. If I can get it out. Look at that. Now I used to have the t-shirt of this because I went to their first gig, their first album. And amazing. Amazing. I'd love to get a t-shirt though. Then, Little Angels Kicking Up Dust, the live EP, strictly limited edition again, 3910. And this one has the song Sex in Cars Live. That's the back of it. Little Angels, Do You Wanna Riot? The album, which I think I probably played once, maybe twice before the gig. Then it was on non-stop repeat. So, it's Toby in the back, just as I remember him. And look at that. And the lyrics, because how can you get to know a record without having the lyrics? And then get this back in. 2 box sets, right? We've got a limited edition 12-inch box set including free giant colour poster. It's that one. And this is in here. It is giant. Don't think I'm going to be able to take it out. Should we have a go? Should we have a go? It's a bit too big. It's probably about as big as me, and I'm 5'4". Jeez. I'll just show you Toby if I can see him. Toby, alright. Yeah, not the most flattering picture of him, but you get the idea. It's big. And quick on putting this after all these years. And in here is the Boneyard and Sweet Long Sensation. And oh my gosh, what the receipt. Oh, I can almost see it. I don't know if you can see it. Up. Make it darker. Right, okay. Blimey, I'm blown away. This was purchased HMV UK Limited, Coventry, on the 21st of January 91. Which receipt? That's got the receipt in it. Oh, and that box set number is 8875. And then finally, She's a Little Angel, which is what my daughter is, and my youngest one. And this is 6769. And limited edition 12-inch box set with free giant colour poster. That is amazing. So let's take a look. So She's a Little Angel. I thought it said Club Tropicana remix. Club to Death mix. And it's got When I Get Out of Here live on the back. This isn't giant compared to the last poster. Come on. Let's have a look at this. Oh, double-sided though. And there's no holes, so I clearly did put it up on my bedroom wall. And then so this is what's going with me today, because I have a studio tour experience, and okay, I paid for it, didn't win it, paid for it, won't eat for the next few months, but it is to meet Toby while he's recording his new album. Keeps going live on Facebook at the moment and recording 20 tracks. And got to be there for midday, there till 6 p.m. this evening. Buffet, don't know, on arrival or sometime this afternoon. And at some point I'm going to ask him to sign some of this, not all of it obviously, otherwise he'll be there until 6 p.m. this evening. But he's teased us by saying there's a few tracks he wants us to put some backing singing onto, and sort of some group singing and bits and pieces. So it's not just a studio tour, it's not just a meet and greet. There's going to be a professional photographer there. I'm going to be there vlogging it if he lets me, and yeah, it'd just be great to talk to everybody else and hear about their experiences and what they love about Toby. But I'll continue this vlog on later on, maybe when I'm on my way down to the recording studios, which are down Pershore Way, top Worcestershire. And it's going to take me just over an hour to get there. It is the best day so far of the year, I think, weather-wise. It's supposed to be dry, it's looking a bit overcast at the minute, but I'm not exactly dressed for summer, but I'm not dressed for winter either. So, could be cold in the studio. Might get a chance to pop outside, just have a mingle and a chat and everything. But I'm so looking forward to it. Never done anything like this before. And the fact it's my Toby, oh my God. Blood pressure tablets with me, yeah, fan. Might need a stiff drink when I get back. Who knows? Anyway. Hello.
How you doing? Come on in. Is anyone else?
Yeah, just on the road. One girl's just parked, just sent her back down there to park in the housing estate, so she'll be open a bit.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome. Hey, mate. How's it going? How are you? Hi there, mate. How are you? Fine, thank you. Hello. How are you? All right? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Great. Thank you for coming. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. Nice to meet you. Yeah, good. Thanks.
Only just met her. How's it going? Are you all right? All your voice. I know. Well, I've been singing my head off all week. Come in. Come in. Tea and coffee to get you started. Right, good journeys. Yeah, all right.
Lovely weather, isn't it?
Yeah.
A nice day for you. Those who, we've got a couple of been here before. Where is he? Where's Al?
I don't know.
Yeah. Al can be your guide if. But no, it should be fun.
To be fair, Toby's been in a dark room for the last week, so...
I've seen no humans apart from
Yeah.
these guys. So that's, I don't know if everyone met, there's Chris Blandon, the bass player. There's Chris there. Of course, you know Matt. I know you guys know Matt from my past and all that, yeah?
Did he tour after the refreshing meeting?
We toured, what were we with Matt?
Yeah.
Well, we know it was the Toby and the Whole Truth first album.
Okay, yeah.
So, no, Matt wasn't in that, was he?
No.
No, it was it was a refresh, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, all the refresh stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first album, we did tour with Toby and the Whole Truth, but it was a disaster, really. Which was a whole unfortunate, series of disasters. Little Angels fell apart, did a solo record, tried to go on the road with it. All the people, I mean, this is music business for you, so this is like everyone that you're kind of associated with deserted us all. Which, you know, in a way, is kind of what it's what it's about. I don't, but at the time, being a young person, expecting a kind of bit of loyalty, it didn't sort of happen, So that was a learning curve. But as a result of that, the pressure and the stress of it all, I got pneumonia, and I sort of had to cancel the tour. So I only got halfway through the tour, and it was we had to abandon it, sort of thing.
And the police were in there as well.
And then there was all that, yeah. Yes, it was a really sort of odd period, but yeah, no, I mean, it's the making of this record is really important for me to do this. It's been songs I've built up for a long time, hanging around, and although weirdly, me and Dave spent, I think probably, how long do you reckon, Dave? Where is he? How long do we spend? We had some time that we were working on some music just before Christmas. Because I've been kind of reluctant, went on my trip and all that, did that world thing, and I came back and I was sort of doing a lot of thinking. But we worked on some stuff for a couple of weeks, didn't we? Yeah. And I was excited about it. And I got up in the morning after he'd gone home and I just put it on and I thought, this is a pile of shit. I don't like any of it. Oh my God. I'm rubbish. So I sort of forgot about it really. Cancelled studio time, cancelled all the musicians, everything. It was just like, it's not going to happen. I kept ringing Chris up, and Chris say, we're doing it, and then we weren't doing it. So and that's part of the journey, you know, you kind of got to find your way in. You have to sort of find a kind of reason to do it. And I think the stumble with Dave was important to happen, you know, because you've got to figure out what you don't want to do. Making music isn't easy, but it's got to be a very human thing. You know, that's my whole experience as a writer throughout my entire life has been that you've got to wake up wanting to do it and have something to say. It's no good just turning it up and turning the guitar open for the best. You have to have a reason. So I think the reason was we had to discover what that reason was, you know. So I've written all of these. We've got 20 songs on the slate, and most of those are written in the last sort of 6 weeks. So yeah, so that's been a bit of a journey on it.
All on your acoustic? Did you?
Yeah, all acoustic. I just didn't touch electric guitar. I've always done that. I've always been a writer. That it's important. I was just saying to Chris this morning, the way I sort of write, I don't even know how I do it myself really. But I don't come up with riffs particularly. I occasionally do, but really it's about chasing the melody and finding where the chords, how they fit, and all that. And that's the journey. It's like you've got to find a way into the song, and it tells you what it wants you to say. It's an odd feeling, but that, and what I do is I tap the vein. It's a weird thing. I tap the vein, and what starts out with absolutely nothing in your head turns into 25, 30, 40 ideas, you know. So, but this time I did a lot of demos. I never do demos. I usually, like Wayward Sons, when we were making the second record in here, I brought 56 ideas in on the phone, just little scratchy ideas. So we were taking a day, 2 days to work an idea up. This time I did a lot of very, not complex, but very organised recording. So I could send the guys everything, and I wrote all the words. That never happens to me. So I wrote everything, and so I've got a demo, so the guys got all that. So when we came in, we were prepared. So, I mean, we finished the backing tracks yesterday. I wasn't expecting to finish them probably until today. So we've kind of gained a day, which is amazing, frankly. So, but anyway, we'll play some stuff when we get back down. But in interim period, do you want to do the, where's Rob? Where is he?
I think he's just going to look for the last person.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got some goodie bags. I'll let Rob, let Dom know. But yeah, so what we'll probably do is, because the control room's really small, we'll move you down, give you a tour, play some stuff. You and the rest of you guys can chill out and just have a cup of tea, have a chat, whatever, and we'll just flip-flop that. And then we're going to record you, so we want you to be on the record, if you're up for that. Yeah, you're each doing a master vocal. Is that any problem there?
I'm not sure about the Welsh mind, we can't sing.
Now we've got a track that I think would suit as crowd vocal, so we'll do that. And then we've got some food for you.
Quite a custard egg, if you've got one.
Well, we've got plenty of those. We've got tambourines, we've got all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so anyway, enjoy, have your tea, and Rob comes up later to all that. And all this. So thanks for coming, I really appreciate it. You know.
You'll get a goodie bag, got t-shirts, posters and whatnot in. So yeah, you're the first to see it. Toby will reveal all, he's the architect behind it, but it's really cool. So, I'm going to read out names. Apologies, hopefully we'll get to know each other better.
So, we all got a complimentary tote bag with some posters in. Obviously, we can get autographs. Good point. And then we also got.
I think that's the thing that Wayward song specific kind of, I mean, balance there, but it's kind of a specific sound.
Look out!
Yeah, it didn't say sorry, Wayward song.
On the back.
Yeah, it's a bit more
Who
varied.
says that? But I can't read it because it's backwards.
Vale Studios, and it's got today's date.
Essentially, this is our control room. Chris is obviously studio owner and engineer. Back in the day when Little Angel were making records, we'd have recorded onto something like this, which is like a tape machine. That's an 8-track version, but we used
that's on eBay now, if anybody wants it.
But we would have, back in the day, it would have been a 24-track version of that. I mean, we started out recording on 16 tracks, which was 1/4-inch tape. But you know, the sort of industry standard back when we were making proper records was a 24-track machine, and they're 2-inch tape. Ferric tape, just like you would get in a normal cassette. So essentially each one of those modules, that represents a track. So each one of those 8 tracks. So what we do is, essentially, in real simple layman's terms, each instrument gets a microphone or a line, what we call a line. So that could be like a guitar line or a keyboard line, and each one is separate entirely. Okay, so they're recorded so we can, record them and then adjust the balances, put effects on them, things like that if we want to. So you would have recorded everything onto one of those. The difference between what we do now is we record onto a computer. So I mean that is now the equivalent. Yeah. I mean that's more powerful than the space shuttle was when it took off or something. It's like that sort of thing. It's daft. Everything's reduced. It's all digital now. But essentially the difference between now and then was, if I went to make, say, a Little Angels record, when we got to, say, making Young Gods as a good example, we advanced to a point where we weren't just using 24 tracks, we wanted to use 48 tracks because we wanted more tracks. So, and we were also running sequencers as well. So you had to lock the two machines together with a thing called a SMPTE code generator. So it was a machine that locked the two machines together, and it used this tone. So it was all very, very complicated. Like I remember going into studios, and they literally were, the first time I ever went to proper studios at the BBC in Maida Vale to record one of the rock shows for Tommy Vance. There was BBC guys in white coats with pens, and all that sort of thing. Come in, put your amplifier. Don't touch your amplifier, we're doing that. So all that sort of stuff. It was like a kind of laboratory, like a sort of really technical science, like kind of felt a bit like that. Didn't know what the fuck we were doing, let them get on with it. So when we were recording Little Angels, we'd got to a point where the engineer, studio engineer, and the producer wanted to have more access to more tracks. So we had to lock all these machines up. And the trouble with that is it's really time consuming. So it's a kind of a bit of a weird one for me, because I remember making records like that. And what was great about it is that, say I was doing a vocal, and I'm doing a vocal track, and the producer says, right, okay, we're going to go and press record, and I'm singing along to the track. It used to take, when we stopped the tape, it used to take time for the tape machine to rewind. So you'd hear it go, and it'd go back, and it'd take maybe, 30, 40 seconds. So you get time to sort of get your head together. You sort of go, okay, well, did I do that right? Was that out of tune? Should I change that word? The difference between now and digital is you don't get that. You basically, as soon as you stop, you can go again. So that in itself, in a weird way, is kind of has moved the goalpost about how you perceive the recording. Because I used to like the fact that you could slow it down. Do you know what I mean? It was like a time to think and all that. So now we go onto computers, and everything's digitised. It's unlimited tracks, pretty much, isn't it?
It is, except we have put limitations on.
Oh, this time we have. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So we decided, right, you could basically just do take after take after take after take of each song as many times as you want, because there's absolutely no limit apart from hard drive space. And in fact, the entire album is taking up a tiny little section of that right now. I have got it backed up. What we've done is we're running the software in this mode that's called destructive mode, which nobody really does. So it's quite. We did it on the first Wayward Sons album as well, and that's the only other time I've ever done it actually on this session. And basically, what you do is you make the software behave much more like a tape machine. So at the beginning of each session, so this is the sort of timeline here, and it stops there. And what you do in destructive mode is you basically say every session is for each song is going to be 16 noisy room with
Yeah, it sounds really loud in there, but it's only as loud as this. That loud.
Do you want to actually do it?
That's why I'm not allowed to go in the house.
There really isn't any room in here, and there's cables everywhere, but you can get an idea, stick your head in. Oh yeah. It is tight.
Thank you.
So if you all just want to look through it. So, I mean, Chris has done an amazing. Can you hear? So Chris has done an. All right. So Chris has done an amazing job of this place, because it's obviously is a lovely old manor house, and of course you've got to soundproof places. You can't have the neighbours moaning, and I think you had the neighbours moaning for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah.
A brilliant job. So it's all fully soundproof. It's kind of room within a room, what we call a room within a room, roughly, isn't it? Sort of.
Yeah.
So basically, you sort of build another room with with lots of sort of soundproof materials. So in those You see, there's 2 doors in the wall there. In fact, actually, you want to put one of those open there?
It's latched, I think.
Yeah.
You can unlatch it.
Yeah. Just put it open. So that's like a sort of guitar booth.
That is Toby's.
So that's my guitar booth in there. So that's got a speaker in it and some microphones, obviously. So there's 2 of those. So that's isolation. And even, when I'm in here, I can't really hear very much of what's going on, of course. But with Sam, for instance, when we were doing Wayward Sons, he would open one of those and you could get his feedback happening. So it's a very sort of versatile thing. Obviously, this is our play. What you tend to do is you're going to get yourself as a bit like a ferret or a little sort of a hamster. You find your little corner and you comforts.
You don't want anyone coming into it.
You sort of get a bit annoyed when someone has a look and stuff like that. So I've got all my batteries and my picks, So it becomes a bit like home.
It does.
You sort of, when you go back to your station, you feel, I'm safe now. I'm safe as always. So this is what we do. So it's not exactly. I mean, studios vary all over the world. There are some huge live rooms, blah blah blah. So, but I think every studio has it has its own environment that promotes a certain type of performing. And I've always felt mainly because of Chris is such a great guy. The studio is such a fantastic environment. You feel relaxed here. It's very conducive to making good music. Don't ever feel pressurised here. So, hence why I keep coming back. So, all right. So listen to a couple more.
Yep.
With regard to this, it was important to kind of get. I just felt I was compelled to make demos, so the guys knew what I was talking about more than anything else. Because a lot of the time, Wayward Sons are like, they don't even hear the lyrics until I finished them. We've done all the backing tracks, and they're going. And they never asked me. What does that actually mean? I'm telling you. So often they don't hear them until the album's mixed. But this time I thought, no, it's very personal. I've got to make sure everyone understands, because I do think it goes into the physical recording. If they read the lyrics, they understand what I'm trying to say. It goes in, So I want to play one more song.
So, is this your first meet up with Toby?
No, this is not my first. I've met up with Tony after the gigs when I've been to see him with Wayward Sons, and usually have a chat to him and go to take him with them. This is my first ever time at the studio.
Yes, this is the longest sort of period of time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
because it's like full day. Yeah.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah. So, how did you first get into following them?
So, I first heard Little Angels back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I heard them when I went to see a gig at Milton Keynes Bowl, and it was supporting Bon Jovi.
Wow. Some time ago, but yeah, a classic gig, I suppose.
Very, very.
Yes, yeah.
Very, very memorable.
Yeah. And then, obviously, they've evolved over the years then. Have you followed them all the way through?
I haven't followed all the way through. I was out of the loop with Toby's solo songs. I didn't realise I wasn't in the loop there with his solo albums and solo songs. It wasn't until later on with social media, and then I heard about Wayward Sons when they brought out their second album, and that's when I came back into the Toby Jepson loop.
Yes. I was similar because it was all about Little Angels. I went to see them at end of 89 in Coventry, and everything was just about them, and that gig just was pinnacle to my life. And then years later, life just takes over, doesn't it? You do other things, you're into other stuff, you don't have time to follow music.
Yeah.
And then social media, and that was it, straight back onto them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So out of all their songs then, which would you say your favourites?
So I would say Don't Pray For Me. I would say Womankind, Wings of an Angel, and also from the Wayward Sons songs, I would say Land of the Blind.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say, that last song that we've just heard, we can't mention it though, that is really, it tugs on your heartstrings, doesn't it?
I found it really emotional to the point I was nearly crying, and you could hear the emotion in Toby's voice, and when he was listening himself with all of us as well, you could see the emotion there. I think it would be an amazing track.
It is going to be literally a timeless one, I think. And okay, might not hear it in the nightclubs and things like that, but who cares?
No.
Because it's not that kind of song, is it?
No, it's not that kind of song. It's a real classic.
It's a real classic, yeah, definitely. I think he's made his mark with that song. And
Definitely.
it just shows all his emotion, everything he's been through. But yeah, stunning track, absolutely stunning. Yeah,
Fabulous.
you'll have to watch it and listen out for it. So I'm just popping back to the car because I want to get my merch out the back. I'm seeing Toby. I've asked for 5 minutes alone time with him, and I'm going to get him to sign the stuff and hopefully get him to do a little interview with me. So, Avengers bag. Oh, you can't see it. Avengers bag. And let's head back in.
And I think she'd be the same with the guitar.
You'll be away.
We're going to play the viewers.
I haven't got 18 sets of headphones, I'm afraid, so what I'm going to have to do is play it really loud.
Can I film me up in my photo then? Of course.
The technology these days, eh?
I know.
All right? Yeah, one on our own?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very impressive, guys, that multitasking there.
You haven't seen the results yet.
It is still recording, I think.
Yeah, it's still going.
There it is, still working. There we go, brilliant.
Thank you very much.
And we're live.
Kind of. Right, so 34 and a half years ago, you were on stage at Coventry. Okay, a lot of something happened to you. And it was your debut album, first tour, was it? Professional tour?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the first tour,
Yeah,
but like
but for
probably
the
the
album.
first for the record that were, you know, it was like a proper backdrop, you know, like taking out a proper crew and all that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Well, 34 and a half years later, we are here today. My business, although it's been going for a few years, I'm actually doing my first event. It's a first cosplay type event for my business, which is called Masquerading.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Masquerading is doing its first evening event. I think that's about all I can say. So Masquerading is all about being in costume, being in character, and following events.
Right.
So it's for cosplayers, LARPers, lookalikes,
Oh, yeah,
all that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. So they're in costume, but I'm struggling to sell the tickets. I'm not asking you to sell them. What I'm saying is your motivation today has been unbelievable, and it's made me kind of like,
get up there.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm still like, I don't know if I can do it. So how have you got round it? You know, when you go out and you think, I've got to sell the tickets, you know, how many people are going to turn up? Is it going to be a washout, or is it going to be a total success? Any tips you could give me?
Well, I would say that, first of all, the most important thing is belief in what you're doing. So you have to believe that what you're doing has a couple of things, that you yourself more than anything else like it. Yes. You have to really want to do it. That's the most important aspect. Because everything, that's the wellspring. Anything creative, anything that needs to have a dynamic element of, you know, ultimately becoming ownership of other people, i.e. selling a ticket for someone to come and see your thing, whatever it is. So, but you will never get that unless you yourself believe it. Everything comes from that. So all your choices about how you then sell that, how you want to talk to people about it, how you value it, that will be exuded from you. Okay. So that's the biggest energy you've got, and that's, I think, the most important element of it. But also, I think a careful understanding of your market, a careful understanding of who you're giving this stuff to, how you're going to sell it to them, and a very honest approach to it. I wouldn't. It never works trying to convince people of something that that really isn't truthfully yours. You know what I mean? You can't pretend to be anything. And I just think music, art, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you believe in it and you give out that energy, people will believe it.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. So that every ounce of your sales technique should come from that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's been done on literally zero budget. So it's all been done myself. So I've got to sell the tickets. I've got to make it work.
But you know what? This is the best thing we've got. It's a modern miracle, isn't it? I mean, of course, Facebook algorithms, you know, Instagram, everything, all these things, they're not absolutes. You don't get a free ticket with them. What you do is, if you do it well enough, we found, I mean, obviously you've met Rob today, me and Rob have been working on these kind of processes, which are ways of engaging with people honestly and with some real heart to it. So I would say do as much social media as you can and do it really regular. Do it every day. So you do a little post. If there are examples of your work and someone has to, I presume people have to wear these things, is that right? Or?
Well, it's more about the cosplayers turning up in their own costumes.
Right, okay.
It's a nighttime party.
Okay.
It's never been done before.
Right, so what I would say is get some people that you know that are into it, get them to do some examples of it.
Yeah,
so have you with them talking about what are you expecting from tonight? You know, what is it about cosplay that you really love? You know, let's talk about that. Have a conversation. Keep them short. Keep them 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. Put them out regularly. So, because what happens with the algorithms is they learn what you're doing, and so because initially it will close it down. There won't be a lot going through. But if you keep doing it over a period of say a week or something like that, eventually the algorithms will learn it. And they'll open it up and you'll get more people who will engage with it.
Okay.
It's a kind of a process, you know. There you go.
Thank you
Is that
very
all right?
much. That is perfect.
Great
yes.
stuff.
Yes, thank
Best
you
of
very
luck.
much.
Go along to it. Go along to it.
Right, can I get you to sign this then?
Of course. On the front or?
Yeah, on the front, just signature.
No problem.
I still like to get people to sign my
Shall I put to
card.
Julie?
Yeah, go on. Now we're on first name terms.
So how come were you at university then at Coventry?
No, born and brought up in Coventry, but then not long after that I lived over in France. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, I came back about 5 years ago.
Why did you go over there?
Family are French, so my dad's side of the
Oh,
family
wow.
are French.
Nice.
My dad was French.
Oh,
Coventry.
France, I absolutely love
Yeah,
France.
still got my house over there, so I'm property rich, cash poor, and that's not good when I've got a business. So I'm trying to push everything into the
Whereabouts
business.
in France were you?
It's the southwest, so it's about half an hour from Bergerac Airport.
Oh, I love
an
it
hour
down
from
there.
Bordeaux. Yeah, Saint-Emilion, I call it my fluorescence, my corner shop.
I love France. I mean, you know, I haven't really played in France a lot. It's one of those. It's a funny country, France, for music. They're very nationalistic, so you don't. I think there are quotas. So how much French music can be played on the radio and all that stuff, you probably know this. But so we Little Angels didn't do anything in France. We played like Paris a couple of times, and we played it with Van Halen, a couple of other things. And I love Paris. I love France in general. It's such a great country.
It's right on our doorstep, but now with us and Brexit and stuff like
It's
that.
bullshit, isn't it?
I know. It's
Bloody
got so
Brexit,
many
what a load of
problems.
rubbish that is.
I know. I don't know who voted for it, but they're.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
It's lovely to see you. Thank you.
very
No,
much.
you're very welcome.
Thanks. So that's it, I'm done here and I've got what I wanted signed, and I've also got a little mini video with Toby. So it's goodbye to the studios, and we also did a little bit of backing track thing, which I can't say anything about, but it's going to be on their album. So yeah, I'll end this vlog here. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. It really, really has. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.